friends. Today I am playing with this small flat wash brush, and I'm using this one. I actually have this Velvet Touch 8 Princeton flat shader by Velvet Touch, but I think I'm going to use this one because it's a little shorter and fatter. So this is the Meeden one, and we're going to create these fun little feathers. It's really, each petal is going to be made up of like a little fan shape. And today I'm going to be using my MeiLiang paints because I wanted to play a little bit with their metallics. And they've got an awful lot of colors here, all the way from royal gold to silver down to yellow, and some really nice pinks and blues. And they do really well just by themselves, which is what I appreciate, because sometimes metallics don't show up so much on white paper, but these do pretty well. So this is just the little student grade MeiLang palette. In order to get the metallics, you do have to buy the larger set. This is the kind of beginner set, and it's 36, made by Paul Rubens, but you don't get the metallics. So I will get that link for you and put it in my store, and I'll also put it in my description if you like. So these are the little flowers we're going to be making, or I'm going to be painting, and they're all done with the flat wash brush, and I'm hoping you can see that. They've got this beautiful shimmer and shine to them. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm working on my Artisto pads. This is their old version, by the way. This is their old cover. This is the turquoise cover, but it's the same. It's the same pads. They're wonderful. I love these. These are my little practice journals, and I keep tons of these. And when I do want to give one away, they are perforated, so you can always tear one out. But for the most part, I keep these for my own, kind of going back and looking to see what I did. I put my little color swatches in here. And then the two wells of water I've got, I always kind of share with you to get two of those, one for washing, one for rinsing, real important with watercolors. And I've got my paper towel here for dabbing off my brush. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got my little palette here, which a lot of you asked me about too. These are that Miss Ceramics. I had her make a bunch of these for my color workshops. I've actually got 4 that I'd be willing to part with if any of you are interested. So here's the pinks. They've got a couple different pinks. This is their lighter pink. I'm just going to put some of that in the palette there, scoop some of that out. As you can see, these MeiLang paints by Paul Rubens, they are so beautiful. I love how creamy they are. Really, really nice consistency. And then I'm actually going to pick up a little bit of that bright pink as well, and maybe just put that in the well right next to it, add a little bit of water. So as always, we're starting with kind of the lighter shade, and then I can always mix. The other thing I think makes for a really pretty petal, a really pretty painting, is I like to let my paints mix on my paper. So what I mean by that is I don't always mix my colors in my palette. Sometimes I will mix them in here, but a lot of times I will dip in here and then I will dip in there, and I've got those colors kind of individually on my brush, and when I go to paint, it comes out with this really beautiful effect. I'll show you right now. So what you're going to do is I hold my brush down near the where the handle meets the ferrule here, or the this cap here, and I'm going to rest my hand on my paper, and I'm using my brush this way. So I'm using the thin part. I'm not using it flat. And I'm going to hold it upright. I'm going to just pivot the top of my brush, but trying to keep the corner of my brush in one spot. So I'm in essence creating like a fan. And I'm just going to move around my paper. like that, to add a little bit more water. Another one, and these kind of look like a hydrangea petal too, I think. So point, and then it can be a little bit tricky because you want to keep the tip of your brush in the middle and just pivoting the top. So I've got a fun little flower there. And I've got some other pinks here that I'm just kind of dipping into. You can tap into those in the middle if you like. And then I'm going to do another one maybe peeking out in the back. So I've got my brush not flat. I've got it upright using the edge of my brush. And then just swirling it around to create that brush stroke. I might even get rid of a little bit of that and make a lighter one. Lighter value, meaning more water, less paint. There we go. A couple of those. And that makes it look like it's a little bit in the background. So I'm flipping my brush. I'm keeping my brush moving like a clockwise direction. And I'm keeping the corner in the middle as much as I can. I know that's a little bit tricky, but as much as you can, think about pivoting around the end of your brush and keeping the other side pointed towards the middle of your flower. So you've got these little fans. And then vary your colors. Dip your brush in a little bit of that purple. And those metallics will keep showing up. Those metallics really stand out. There we go. Just have that one peeking out kind of there. Okay. Add a little bit more paint here. And making sure when you go to your paper, you've either tapped off your brush on the side here to get rid of the excess water or tapped it on your paper towel. And then let's keep going. Just swirling around. There we go. Pick up some of that purplish color, which is actually, you could use fresh purple, violet red, whichever color. I love the MeiLang's fresh purple and violet red. I think it's so beautiful. And you can even, and then tapping off my brush so I don't have too much paint on there. Look at that color. I think it's so pretty. Viva Magenta is what the Pantone color of the year was. And I just love it. I'm going to continue to use it even after the year's over, guys. Spinning my brush around, spinning my brush around, spinning my brush. There we go. Some more here, and then varying the value as well. So some areas have more water. So the value's a little bit different. There we go. And then I think out of this corner, I'm going to use the side of my brush again and just do some dabs for some little maybe blossoms, buds that are coming out. Maybe right here, like that, here. I always do rule of threes, and I hope you can see that beautiful metallic sparkle with these, really pretty. Let's do a couple more right here. Just kind of peeking out. I am going to be so obsessed with these metallics. I don't know if I'll ever stop using them now. There we go. Maybe some, I'm going to try and get a lighter value here so it looks like it's in the background. Like that. There we go. Okay. Practice that brush stroke on a little swatch of paper because it can be a little bit tricky. The main thing, like I said, is you have one edge of your brush staying in the center and the other brush is turning around just like the hands of a clock. Like that. And then you just keep working around, varying your colors. There we go. And then I think, let's see, right here, let's make a couple of those dabs again, coming out. And I'm going to switch my brush real quick to my 6 long round Princeton because I love that tip. And I'm just going to draw some little branches, little twigs coming out while that's wet. So we maybe get a tiny bit of bleed. And you can even add some little greenery peeking out like that. Okay, and you can use this flat wash brush too for some very thin stems. So the lightest touch, I'm just barely going to put any pressure. And I'm going to draw my stem just like that. And then I might come out, draw some little leaves. To be honest, I don't even know what these flowers are for sure, you guys. I'm just playing. I do that a lot of times. I just kind of make up my own flowers. These actually remind me a little bit of maybe a hydrangea, except they're not quite as round. And then maybe I'll go in there and add in a tiny bit of that pink. As you know, I love adding in the color of my flowers to my leaves. I think it's so pretty and brings so much coherency and unity to my paintings. Now I'm going in with a really light wash of that same metallic pink and just going to add in a few in the background here. Like that. This pink is just so beautiful. If you have these metallics by MeiLiang, let me know what you think of them because I think they're really pretty. They show up really well, which is what I appreciate because a lot of times the metallics will be so faint. They just really don't show up. And then maybe we could do a small little bunch here. Like that. Let's do a couple more in there. Again, I'm just making little like fans for my petals. So we've got this little bunch here. Turning my brush like that, and then we'll go in and draw. Let me just use this brush. Draw our little stem coming out. There we go. So it looks like a little beginning bud there. And there you go. I think I'm basically done. But look at that shine. Look at that sheen. I think that is so beautiful. I hope you can pick that up in the camera. And again, this is that MeiLang student grade set. This is the 48 set, so you get those metallics in there. And I hope you give this a try. There's really no drawing, but keep in mind, I do have all my free drawings for this month, by the way, in my website. Just go there, download them. They go to all my tutorials, have fun with them. And I hope you give these a try. I think these are really pretty. All right. Thanks, everybody.